مرحبا وأهلا وسهلا فيكم. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day. Welcome to another session of learning Levantine Arabic. In today's session, as the previous one, we'll be covering a little bit more conversation practice, and we'll be doing questions and answers based on the topics, and today's topic would be restaurants. So we'll try to form a number of these questions and try to give them the answers. The answers will range from basic and some more a little bit more towards the intermediate level and some to advanced level. So the answers and the questions, they range hopefully to cover all levels. However, if you have any questions, do always leave them in the comment section below and I'll definitely make sure to get back to you. As always, before starting today's session, if you find these topics interesting, helpful in any form or shape, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. And if you're a little bit more generous, then don't forget to support the channel, hopefully to help me, to help you to make more videos. Great. With that out of the way, let's get started. So how do we say, are you hungry? If you're asking a man, you just simply جوعان, جوعان, جوعان. And the person asking a man, he would reply, أيوة, which means yes. أيوة, جوعان. أيوة, جوعان. As simple as that. If you ask a woman, you would say جوعانة, جوعانة. So the difference between both, the feminine has got a feminine case to the end of it, which is the equivalent of the as in English. So جوعانة, جوعانة, جوعانة. And she would reply أيوة, جوعانة, أيوة, جوعانة. So you'll be using the same one, asking and answering. And if you're wondering what this form is, it's called the active participle. And if you're interested to know a little bit more about the active participle, I have made 5 dedicated tutorials about the active participle, and I've talked about it in greater details and covered literally or pretty much everything about the active participle. So yeah, check the grammar section or search the library and put in there the active participle and you'll come across at least 5 sessions, if not more. And as always, time is not spared, so they're very lengthy, full of details for you to look at it. What type of food do you eat? So you could say, if you're asking a man, so you say شو بتحب تاكل? شو بتحب تاكل? شو بتحب تاكل? And that's if you're asking a man. شو بتحب تاكل? شو بتحب تاكل? And he might say أنا باكل كل شي. أنا باكل كل شي. However, if you eat something in particular, then as I mentioned earlier, do leave them in the comment section below and I'll give you the answer. So yeah, give it a try. You could say أنا, I, باكل, I eat, كل شي, which means everything. كل شي. If you're asking a woman, you would say شو بتحبي تاكلي? شو بتحبي تاكلي? So that's if you ask a woman, شو بتحبي تاكلي? And there's an obvious difference between the both forms. The feminine ends with an E in both verbs, whereas the masculine doesn't. شو بتحبي تاكلي? And she might reply, she would say, أنا نباتية. أنا نباتية. Nabatiya is a vegetarian, and ladies, by the way, I'm vegetarian, so this is not just for the ladies. أنا نباتية. أنا نباتية. I'm vegetarian. However, if a guy says I'm vegetarian, all you need to do is to delete the A from the end of it because that signifies the feminine. So you would say أنا نباتي. Nabati, nabati, which means vegetarian, but that is if a man talking about himself. Or you could say, I eat just seafood. So you could say, أنا باكل أكل بحري. أنا باكل, I eat. أكل is food, so that's the noun from the verb. Okay? So أنا باكل, I eat. أكل, أكل is the noun, it's food. أكل بحري, which means seafood. أكل بحري. أنا باكل أكل بحري. Okay, and if we ask a man, do you have any allergies? You could say عندك حساسية? عندك حساسية. عندك حساسية? And he might say أيوة عندي من المكسرات. أيوة, which means yes, عندي, I have, من, from, of, المكسرات, which means nuts. المكسرات. المكسرات. And if you ask a woman, you would say عندك حساسية? عندك حساسية? She might reply لا, ما عندي حساسية. لا ما عندي I don't have حساسية allergies. And if you ask about whether they have money or not, so you could say معك مصاري. معك مصاري, of course, they're friends unless they're trying to rob you. That is a different thing. You could say فيني ادفع بالبطاقة. فيني ادفع, can I pay? بالبطاقة. بالبطاقة. So B, which means buy. بطاقة is card. So again, yeah. فيني ادفع بالبطاقة. Can I pay by card? And if you're talking to a woman, you would say معك مصاري. معك مصاري. معك مصاري. And she might say لا, no. وين فيني أطالع cash? لا, no. وين فيني, where can I? أطالع, to get out. أطالع, to get out. Cash is cash. What is your favorite meal? And you could say شو هي وجبتك المفضلة? شو هي, what is it? وجبة is meal. وجبتك, your meal. المفضلة, the favorite. شو هي وجبتك المفضلة? He must say, I love street food markets where you could try different cuisines. Of course, lunchtime is when I go exploring, so nothing in particular. So this person might say, بحب أكل الأسواق الشعبية. بحب أكل, I like the food. أسواق. أسواق, which means markets. الشعبية, which means if you put in Google Translation or any dictionary, means popular. But in dialect, this would be used to refer to street food market, to street food. And it's incredible. So أسواق الشعبية. وفيك تختار, and you can choose أكلات مختلفة. And you can choose أكلات, so that's the plural of أكل or أكلة. So أكلات, dishes. مختلفة, different. طبعا, of course, وقت الغداء, lunchtime, بروح, I go, لأستكشف, to explore. بس ما في, but there isn't, شي, something, محدد, specific or in particular. بحب أكل الأسواق الشعبية وفيك تختار أكلات مختلفة. طبعا, وقت الغداء بروح لأستكشف, بس ما في شي محدد. And I think the best way, if you go and explore a certain country, is to try the street food markets. And I think it's incredible because they just basically home-cooked food and served to the public, unlike when you go to a franchise. But that's me. You do let me know how you get about choosing your food if you travel, or perhaps near your workplace. What type of food do you eat or go for? And it simply would say شو بتحب تاكل? شو بتحب تاكل? شو بتحب تاكل? Of course, we could phrase it completely differently, but that would be a lot longer. However, if you wish to phrase this question differently, give it a try. We could say, I always love to try new food, but Middle Eastern food is my go-to daily. دائما بحب جرب أكل جديد. دائما بحب جرب أكل جديد. بس بحب أكل الأكل الشرقي بشكل يومي. دايما, always, بحب جرب, I like to try. So جرب is to try. بحب جرب, I like, I try, I like to try. أكل جديد, new food. بس بحب, but I like. أكل, I eat. الأكل الشرقي, Middle Eastern food. So الأكل, أكل, that's food. الشرقي, that itself, the word, that vocabulary itself means Middle Eastern. الشرقي. بشكل, in a way, in a shape, in a form. يومي, daily. يومي, which means daily. دائما بحب جرب أكل جديد, بس بحب أكل الأكل الشرقي بشكل يومي. How much do you usually pay when you eat out? قد بتدفع للأكل برا عادة؟ قد بتدفع للأكل برا عادة؟ قد how much بتدفع, you pay, للأكل, for food, برا, which means outside, عادة, usually. قد بتدفع للأكل برا عادة؟ قد بتدفع للأكل برا عادة؟ It's not very expensive, but I don't eat out a lot. Maybe £30 for a meal. مش غالي كتير, بس ما باكل برا كتير, بس بدفع حوالي 30 جنيه للوجبة. مش غالي كتير, مش غالي كتير, not very expensive. It's not very expensive. مش غالي كتير. So مش which means not. And the other day, so one of you asked, can I use ma? Of course, you could use it. And there is a tutorial I've made talking about how to negate nouns and adjectives. So yeah, you could use mish, which means not, and you could use ma. And most of the rules, especially in dialect, is basically made up because it depends on people. So whether if you want to use ma with everything, yeah, go for it. It doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, what you want is people to understand you. So yeah, مش غالي كتير, it's not very expensive. بس ما باكل, but I do not eat. برا, outside, كتير, very often, a lot. بس بدفع, but I pay. حوالي, approximately, around 30 جنيه, 30 pounds. لا, for, الوجبة, the meal. للوجبة, for the meal. للوجبة. So وجبة is a meal. Do you like spicy food? And this is very important, especially in the Middle East. So we do have a very spicy food. And actually this spicy food would help you to pronounce your letter has. So yeah, if you like spicy food, or if you want to give spicy food a try, or if you struggle pronouncing the letter ha, you might need to try some spicy food. It would help you to pronounce or read Arabic better. بتحب الأكل الحار. بتحب الأكل الحار. حار, which means spicy. We do have another word for it, and people tend to use it interchangeably. So yeah, you could choose either. الحد. الحد. بتحب الأكل الحار, or بتحب الأكل الحد. الحد. So yeah, if you eat spicy food, you'll be really good at pronouncing the letter ha. And you might answer, yes, I do, especially Thai soup on a cold day. أيوة, بحب, وخاصة الشوربة التايلاندية لما بيكون الطقس برد. أيوة, which means yes. بحب, I love, I do. بحب. وخاصة, especially. خاصة, especially. الشوربة, شوربة, so شوربة is soup. شوربة التايلاندية, Thai. So Thai, تايلاندية. لما بيكون, when, being. الطقس, the weather, برد, when the weather is cold. لما بيكون الطقس برد. How do you choose a restaurant? كيف بتختار مطعم. كيف بتختار مطعم. اختار is the verb to choose. And by the way, I've conjugated this verb, so if you find it a bit difficult or intrigued how to conjugate it, I have made a dedicated tutorial on how to conjugate this verb. It's in the conjugation section if you ask. I always ask for recommendations from family and friends. دايما بسأل أهلي ورفقاتي إذا فيهن يوصوا بشي مطعم. دائما, always, بسأل, I ask, أهلي, my family, ورفقاتي, my friends, إذا فيهن, if they can, يوصوا, to recommend. So وصى is to recommend. بشي, an a, مطعم, a restaurant. دائما بسأل أهلي ورفقاتي إذا فيهن يوصوا بشي مطعم. Do you eat fast food? بتاكل أكل وجبات سريعة. بتاكل, do you eat, أكل, food, وجبات, which means meal, سريعة, fast. So وجبات سريعة is fast food. بتاكل أكل وجبات سريعة. Do you eat fast food? No, I'd rather cook. لا, بفضل اطبخ. لا, بفضل اطبخ. لا, بفضل اطبخ. So فضل, which means I'd rather, I prefer. How do you know how much tip should you give? كيف بتعرف قديه إكرامية لازم تعطي. كيف بتعرف, how do you know. قديه, how much. إكرامية is a tip. إكرامية is a tip. لازم, you should. تعطي, to give. There's another word for a tip. So aside from إكرامية, let me know what that word is in the comment section below. There's another word we use for tip or tips. كيف بتعرف قد ايه إكرامية لازم تعطي. And this is a very grey area, especially in the Middle East, because people don't really know how much to give. But this is my tip for you guys. And I would always, أنا بعطي بقد سعر طبق مقبلات. بس أسهل, اسأل رفقاتي. أنا بعطي, I give, بقد as the equivalent of سعر, the price, طبق, which means dish, مقبلات, starter. بس أسهل, but easier, but أسهل, easier, اسأل, to ask, رفقاتي, my friends. So my rule of thumb here, when I give a tip, when I sit in a restaurant, is I always give the equivalent of a price for a starter. So let's say, for example, if it was a £7 or £8, I do give that, which is, I think, sometimes works out more than the 10% or the 12%, depending on the country you are in. But let me know your tip or your trick how to pay tips if you go to some restaurants where you are, or here in the UK if you are in the UK, guys. I'm gonna give another read. أنا بعطي بقد سعر طبق مقبلات بس أسهل اسأل رفقاتي. Do expensive restaurants always serve better food? المطاعم الغالية دايما بتقدم أكل أفضل. المطاعم الغالية دايما بتقدم أكل أفضل. المطاعم الغالية expensive restaurants دايما always بتقدم serve أكل food أفضل better. لا مش دايما بس معظمهم بيطبخوا الأكل التقليدي بطرق جديدة ما فكرت فيها. That is generally my answer. I don't think they do, and not always. Most of these expensive restaurants, they do serve better food, but I think they always cook traditional food in a different way, which I didn't think about it. But do let me know what do you think about this question. I would be intrigued to hear in general about all these questions. And some of them are tailored to me, by the way, and some of them are just formed them for the purpose of this session. But do let me know your answers in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear them. Let me read it again. لا, no. مش دائما, not always. بس, but. معظمهم, most of them. بيطبخوا, they cook. الأكل التقليدي, traditional food. بطرق, in ways, in methods. جديدة, new. ما فكرت, I didn't think. فيها, about it. I'll give another read. لا مش دائما بس معظمهم بيطبخوا الأكل التقليدي بطرق جديدة ما فكرت فيها. Which country serves the best cuisine in your opinion? This is quite an interesting or probably funny story, or sometimes I get bored of it. I get asked this question quite a lot. I'm not a chef. Yeah. So I do get, actually, funnily enough, I do get asked about this question quite a lot. But I don't know why. Maybe I do look like a chef, but I'm not a chef. Although I do like to cook. برأيك شو هي الدولة يلي بتقدم أفضل أكل؟ برأيك شو هي الدولة يلي بتقدم أفضل أكل؟ برأيك, in your opinion, شو هي, which is, الدولة, the country, يلي بتقدم, which serves, أفضل, best, أكل, cuisine or food. And my answer is أنا جربت أكل من دول مختلفة بس بحب النوع يلي فيك تتشارك بالأكل مع رفقاتك مثل الأكل العربي والإيطالي والإسباني والبرتغالي وغيره. And that is my genuine answer. أنا جربت, I've tried, أكل من دول مختلفة, food from all over the world, from different countries. من دول, countries, مختلفة, different, مختلفة. But بحب النوع, but I like the type, the kind. نوع, which means kind or type. يلي, which, فيك, you can. تتشارك, you can share. بالأكل, تتشارك بالأكل, you can share the food. مع رفقاتك, with friends, with your friends. مع, with. رفقاتك, your friends. مثل, like, such as. الأكل العربي, Arabic food. والإيطالي, Italian. والإسباني, Spanish. والبرتغالي, Portuguese. وغيره. غيره, by the way, means etc. غيره means etc. And that's actually, this is something a lot of students asked me, how do I say etc. in Arabic? It is غيره, which means etc. or others. So yeah, this is my genuine answer. I've tried different types of food, but I love the food that when you can share. And equally, you know, what if the person with you or your friend ordered a dish and then you regret ordering the one you ordered? So here is a win-win situation and you could eat their food. Yeah, that's a good tip there. But you let me know, what do you think? Is restaurant food better than home-cooked food? برأيك أكل المطاعم أفضل من أكل البيت؟ برأيك, do you think, in your opinion, أكل المطاعم, restaurant food, أفضل, better, من, than, أكل البيت, home-cooked food. برأيك أكل المطاعم أفضل من أكل البيت؟ And my answer, أبداً لا. Never. أبداً لا, never. الوجبة يلي بتطبخها أمي, the meal which my mom cooks it, بتطبخها أمي, أفضل, better than, أفضل من, better than, أكل, food, أي مطعم, any restaurant. بس في ناس, of course there are some people, بس في ناس, but there are some people, رح يختلفوا, will disagree معي, with me. أبدا لا, الوجبة يلي بتطبخها أمي أفضل من أكل أي مطعم. بس في ناس رح يختلفوا معي. But of course, or I guess, there are a lot will disagree with me. Do you ever read restaurant reviews? Are they useful? دايما بتقرأ تقييمات المطاعم مفيدة أو لا؟ دايما بتقرأ تقييمات المطاعم؟ دايما, always, بتقرأ, do you read, تقييمات, reviews, المطاعم, restaurants, مفيدة, useful, أو لا, or not. Are they useful or not? And I say, I read them and find them useful, but I only read the ones written in the past or in the last 6 months. بقراهن وبلاقيهن مفيدة كتير. بس يلي بتكون مكتوبة بآخر 6 شهور. بقراهن, I read them, وبلاقيهن, and I find them, مفيدة, useful, كتير, very. بس يلي بتكون مكتوبة, but those which are written, مكتوبة, written, مكتوبة, written. بآخر, in the last, 6 شهور, months. Great, guys, and with this we've reached to the end of today's session. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you want to answer these questions, you could leave your answer in the comment section below. But of course, you'll be able to voice and write some of these sentences, and I'll definitely give you some feedback on them. So yeah, if you have any questions, do always leave in the comment section below. Do hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and of course don't forget to support the channel. There's a link below if you wish to do so. Till next time, stay safe. Ma salame.